is News 3 Now at 6.
And thanks for joining us. For the fourth time in the last 2 weeks, a winter storm could bring more snow to southern Wisconsin.
There's also a chance for freezing rain, and after that, bitter cold temperatures. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti tells us about a series of alert days coming up. Gary?
Boy, I don't know what more you could add to that. I mean, that's a little bit of everything, but all stuff that we really don't want around here. Let's start out by taking a look at Doppler track right now. Very quiet across the upper Midwest. Nothing going on, but by this time tomorrow, we'll start to see some snow developing out to the west of us. Alert days are in the forecast from late Wednesday night through Thursday and into early Friday morning for 3 to 6 inches of snow, maybe a little more in some spots, and ice accumulations up to 1/10 of an inch that could add a glaze to the roads. And then we have alert days in the forecast for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Some of the coldest weather in the last few winters moves in, with wind chills down to 25 to 35 below zero early in the morning. Daytime high temperatures in the single digits and wind chills that could stay below zero even during the daylight hours. There's the snowfall that is expected from late Wednesday night through Thursday and into early Friday morning. And there's the ice accumulations, again, up to perhaps about 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation. Temperatures right now in the upper teens to the lower 20s. It'll be a cold night tonight. Temperatures will drop off into the upper single digits above zero by early morning, but with light winds, there shouldn't be much of a problem. Tomorrow's high, 29 degrees with partly sunny skies. Then all the fun starts late Wednesday night. I'll have more details in weather in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. A written statement from Sun Prairie's superintendent left us and some community members with a lot of questions.
Now, the district was responding to anger over a racially insensitive assignment yesterday, but kept quiet today. Our Jamie Perez found out more about that assignment and what type of racial equity training teachers in Sun Prairie receive. Jamie?
Yeah, so a parent actually sent me a list of more of the questions that the students were asked to respond to in that same assignment, which led us to an even bigger question of how did this lesson plan slip through the cracks? The lesson was about Hammurabi's code, an eye for an eye. But Taryn Peterson's response to the lesson itself...
I have no word. Like, that's inexcusable.
Peterson is the president of the African American Parent Network in Sun Prairie. She also helps the district plan its Black History Month events. The lesson in question was a 21-page PowerPoint for 6th graders at Patrick Marsh Middle School. It asked how students would handle marital disagreements and slavery, namely, how to punish a slave if they disobeyed and said, "You are not my master." The district stressed yesterday this wasn't an approved assignment, but rather one a small group of teachers decided to use.
There's an equity team at every single building, and that should be a resource for any teachers. Like, if they reviewed curriculum and they're like, I don't know, maybe we should have someone else look at this. There's definitely opportunities at the building level that are at hand.
Peterson said once a week, the principal looks over lesson plans, which are generally broad. The superintendent told us in a statement yesterday the district would immediately review its social studies curriculum. Peterson also said racial equity training is available for teachers, but is not mandatory.
Like, obviously, we have teachers that don't want to take that extra step.
We also learned that the lesson plan this assignment was taken from can be bought online through a popular education site for $4. The same assignment has caused controversy in several other states, too.
It's exhausting. It's infuriating.
Alwyn Foster has 2 kids in the school district and is running for a spot on the school board this year, hoping to change the way the district handles these types of situations going forward.
We'll see if Black Lives Matter based on how the school district deals with this.
And I reached out to the district several times today, left messages for additional comments to answer questions that we still have and that many of you likely still have. They have not responded to a single one of my messages, but I did talk to the mother of the 6th grade boy who brought this to social media's and ours attention, and she told me over the phone that she did speak with the superintendent who called her to offer her a personal apology and said that the investigation into this incident should last about a week.
All right, we'll continue to follow it. Jamie Perez, live in Sun Prairie. Jamie, thank you.
Across Wisconsin, there are just under 1,100 new COVID cases confirmed today. That is below the average of about 1,300. 40 more people have died. In the past 24 hours, almost 22,000 vaccines were administered, which is below the average of 29,000. Well, just under 2% of Wisconsin's population has completed their vaccination series. That is nearly 109,000 Wisconsinites who have received both doses of the shot. DHS leaders say to achieve the department's goal of 80% vaccine coverage for all Wisconsin adults, we need 3 things: public demand for the vaccine, the system to deliver it, and vaccine supply.
Here in Wisconsin, we have built the infrastructure needed to make our vaccination effort a success. We know we have the network of vaccinators we need because last week they requested nearly 300,000 vaccines to vaccinate the residents of Wisconsin who are eligible and who want a vaccine. But we could only fulfill about 27% of their requests.
She says we need a lot more vaccines and that it's clear we have public demand for the vaccines based on the more than 200,000 vaccines that were given last week.
And Dane County views the Alliant Energy Center as a central fixture of its fight against COVID. Tonight, it's hoping to convince the federal government it should be a regional fixture, too. County leaders applied to turn the center into a federal vaccination site as part of an initiative from President Biden. Maddie O'Neill live there with how that would change things. Maddie?
Well, on top of the testing that has been going on for months here at the Alliant Energy Center, Public Health Madison and Dane County is also doing vaccinations, about 500 to 600 a day. That number could be 6,000 a day if the federal government takes over, making it one of 100 such regional vaccination sites. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi says the Alliant Energy Center's infrastructure gives it the ability to expand, and the location makes it the perfect spot.
We're cautiously optimistic that the federal government's going to like what they see in this application, and that will benefit Dane County and the region.
Parisi says we'll know within a few weeks if the application is approved, and if it is, the federal vaccination site could be up and running by the end of March. Now, whether or not that happens, public health officials here are planning to ramp up vaccination efforts. We'll have more on that coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
All right, Maddie O'Neill reporting live. Maddie, thank you.
One of the two victims in a house explosion and fire in River Falls passed away in the hospital. The River Falls police chief says 75-year-old Martha Gaustad has died. Her daughter, 42-year-old Carrie, is in the hospital in stable condition after suffering minor burns.
We understand that neighbors were directly involved in helping get them out of the house, which was still on fire at the time.
He went into the house because he was listening for screams and stuff, and he managed to pull the lady out of the rubble and save her from the building collapsing on her.
The cause of the explosion is under investigation. The city administrator says there's no indication of foul play. Dane County Sheriff's officials say a 100-year-old farmhouse was damaged in a fire this afternoon in Deerfield. This was on Holzhuter Road near I-94. A woman called 911 to report a fire in the kitchen. She was able to get her 96-year-old father, who uses a wheelchair, and the family dog outside to safety. Investigators believe a propane heater caused that fire. Damages are estimated at $75,000.
Madison leaders are taking up an idea tonight that could help thousands of people without costing taxpayers much of anything. It's a plan the mayor and some alders have worked on for a long time now. Gabriela Becerra explains the plan and why it was delayed.
This zoning package was nearly complete and ready to be introduced to the Madison Common Council last spring, but due to COVID-19, it got pushed aside until now. The pandemic was just a small interruption in what Alder Patrick Heck calls a slow process to make housing affordable in Madison.
There were staff and alders working on this before I even became alder.
Tonight, Rhodes Conway and many alders will ask to replace a city ordinance with one that allows for cooperative housing in any residential or mixed-use zoning district.
One of the fundamental problems that we're trying to correct is that there's a mismatch between what we say we want in our plans and what's allowable under our zoning.
Rhodes Conway says this package will make it easier to build affordable multi-unit buildings and convert existing homes into cooperative living spaces.
More things would be allowed to be built without needing a review by the Plan Commission and the City Council.
Currently, housing co-ops are primarily near campus and downtown, and this will open up opportunities throughout the city.
In the time spent waiting to introduce this item, housing security only became worse. While the city and county threw millions of dollars into rental assistance, Rhodes Conway says it's time for a permanent solution.
We need to have more available units, and we need to have more available affordable units. And the way that we do that is by building more housing.
Heck says tonight these changes will be referred to the Housing Strategies Committee and the Plan Commission before ultimately returning to the Madison Common Council for approval. I'm Gabriela Becerra, News 3 Now.
The virtual Madison Common Council meeting begins in less than 30 minutes. We'll bring you updates on channel3000.com.
Coming up next at 6, the UW-Madison Arboretum has a new title under its belt, National Historic Landmark. We'll take a look back at its history. Stay with us.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, carefully knead dough. Step 2, artfully spread sauce. Step 3, add fresh mozzarella and assemble toppings. Step 4, realize we already did all that for you. So all you have to do is bake it. Right now, get the classic Italian with pepperoni, sausage, and mushrooms on our original crust for just $11. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Right now, get $1,500 customer cash on a new 2021 Highlander Hybrid. Visit Toyota.com to learn more. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Did you know that 178 million Americans are missing at least one tooth?
It's true. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we only focus on tooth replacement solutions.
Whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can create a new smile just for you.
At a price that's affordable.
Because at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we want you to
go ahead and smile.
Nice sleep center, Bob. But what is a Bobopedic?
I could tell you, but I'd rather show you.
Oh, Bob's got a feel for your budget.
They deliver right to your door. With 30 years of sleep experience,
the best warranty, and so much more.
Bob's Bobopedic, from your head down to your feet, it feels like no mattress you felt before.
Wow!
Uh-oh.
Bob's Bobopedic.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Summerfest has been pushed back to September. America's largest music festival is planned for the first 3 weekends of September. Organizers say they pushed concerts back to allow more time for people to receive the COVID vaccine. Some of the headliners have already been announced, including Blink-182, Khalid, Chris Stapleton, Dave Matthews Band, and Guns N' Roses.
UW-Madison says the Arboretum is now recognized as a National Historic Landmark. That designation was approved by the National Park Service, ultimately the Secretary of the Interior. The Arboretum was created back in the 1930s as an outdoor laboratory to study how to repair damaged landscapes. Those early experiments helped create a better understanding of local ecosystems and develop restoration and management practices.
Still ahead at 6, it's day 1 of in-person absentee voting in the spring primary. Hear from local clerks about why turnout is already unusually high. And snow and freezing rain are on the way, followed by bitter cold. Gary will have your first warn forecast next.
Get more for your kitchen now at the Brothers Main Big Kitchen Upgrade Sale. We want you to absolutely love your new kitchen, so you'll get big savings on the latest incredible products from GE and our risk-free 30-day price satisfaction guarantee. We want you to be 100% satisfied every time. That's why we're the More Store. The Big Kitchen Upgrade Sale with more selection, more savings, and more kitchen. Now at the Brothers Main, your local store for more since 1938.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-905-1069. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-905-1069.
In the truck game, greatness is defined by a relentless commitment to the customer, forged over decades, built by a team resolute in helping you achieve your greatness. Experience this award-winning lineup today. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 44 years straight and counting.
Hurry to get $7,250 in total savings on a Built Ford Tough F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
We drive everywhere to help our son reach his dream of becoming an elite swimmer. So we enrolled in the Know Your Drive program with American Family Insurance. It gives us discounts for safe driving and other benefits, like emergency roadside service, which comes in handy, no matter where his dreams take him. With Know Your Drive, save up to 20% and get closer to your dreams. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Well, there typically is a big turnout drop-off between a November general election and a February primary. The drop-off may not be nearly as big this year.
In-person absentee voting begins today. Christina Laurie spoke with local clerks about why there's already an unusual amount of interest.
We are seeing like a holdover and a lot more, I think, civic engagement on the part of voters.
A repeat record setter is likely, with absentee ballots far outpacing past years, still 2 weeks from Election Day.
We probably have over 20,000 absentee ballots that have gone out so far just for this February primary.
The Madison City Clerk's office says that's highly unusual for a February primary, but the pandemic changed the game.
Because of last year and how many people voted absentee, I think people are becoming more comfortable with that process.
Across Dane County, voter interest remains high after a record-shattering 80% voted in November. In Verona, Deputy Clerk Kayla Martin says despite there being only one race on the ballot, State Superintendent, hundreds of people are requesting to vote absentee. In neighboring Oregon, the same.
Safety, I think, is the number one thing right now.
842 voters have already requested ballots, up from just 59 in 2018's February election.
I had to do the math a couple times just to make sure I was doing it right, but that's a 1,327% increase.
The math checks out, and while the pandemic's changed how a lot of people are voting, the bottom line is that they are voting.
Yeah, I think it's a holdover, and I hope that we all hope that it's something that we'll just continue to see.
If you're planning to vote in the spring primary, there are a few dates you should be aware of. You can request an absentee ballot through February 11th at 5 o'clock. That is the Thursday before Election Day. And then you can return that ballot either in person at your polling place or drop it off in one of the drop boxes around town. You can find those outside most fire stations as well as Elver Park. For News 3 Now, I'm Christina Laurie.
If you have any voting questions like how to find your polling place, head to cityofmadison.com/clerk and click on the Elections and Voting tab.
Well, Gary's here with our first one forecast. Well, we are heading into some very cold temperatures in the coming days. Gary?
Yeah, dangerously cold, especially as we head into next weekend and early parts of next week. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. One more nice day for tomorrow with high temperatures in the upper 20s to around 30. We'll see partly sunny skies. Shouldn't be an issue. Thursday, actually beginning late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we'll start to see a mixture of some snow, sleet, freezing rain, and maybe even a little rain, changing to snow by Thursday afternoon into Thursday night, and then tapering down to flurries by early on Friday morning. And then that's followed by bitterly cold air that arrives for the weekend and lasts into at least the first half of next week. Snowfall forecast, we're looking at about 3 to 6 inches of snow through southern Wisconsin. The higher amounts might be in the far northern parts of our viewing area. Then the amounts go up a little bit more over northeastern Wisconsin and in the lake snowbelt areas of the western portion of upper Michigan, and the potential for some freezing rain is also there with up to about 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation. So you have the glaze, you have the snow, and then you probably have some blowing snow toward the end of the event as temperatures start to turn bitterly cold. Winter storm watches in effect already for northeastern and northern Wisconsin for Thursday into early Friday. We have alert days in the forecast for Thursday for that wintry mix of precipitation and snow, and then the bitterly cold air arrives for the weekend and lasts into at least Monday and Tuesday of next week, where low temperatures are around 10 degrees below zero. Wind chills in the morning, especially Sunday and Monday morning, could be as cold as 35 below zero. During the daytime, even with single-digit high temperatures, the wind chills will make it feel like it'll be below zero. A couple of those days, the wind chills might not get above 10 below zero. So that shows you how really cold it'll be. On future track, you can see the bitterly colder. This is for wind chills down to 20 below zero by Saturday morning. By Sunday morning, we're down around 35 below zero. Pretty much the same story, 30 to 35 below zero for Monday morning. Tuesday morning, those wind chills 25 to 30 below zero. And even Wednesday morning, those wind chills still down around 25 below zero. So it's a prolonged period of cold that's really going to affect people over that long time period. 29 for the high tomorrow with partly sunny skies. Again, that's the easy part of the forecast. But on future track, beginning early on Thursday morning, we see the mixed precipitation developing pretty rapidly by mid-morning. Then that changes to snow on Thursday afternoon and continues into Thursday night and early Friday morning. Again, about 3 to 6 inches of snow through much of southern Wisconsin, and ice accumulations up to about 1/10 of an inch. The 7 to 10 day forecast. Again, Friday we start turning much colder, and then the bitterly cold air Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But even beyond that, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, high temperatures will be in the teens. Nighttime low temperatures will be in the single digits below zero, and wind chill factors, even on some of those mornings, could be as cold as 20 to 25 degrees below zero. So this whole time period here, we're dealing with bitterly cold temperatures for most of next week, something we really haven't seen in perhaps about the last 3 or 4 winters.
And coming up in sports, Jim Leonhard with an in-state job interview, while the Badgers defensive coordinator going to the Packers kind of makes sense. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today. Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison 2021. Get ready to nominate your favorites online for Best of Madison in over 140 categories. Nominations open February 1st. Learn more at madisonmagazine.com.
In the truck game, greatness is defined by a relentless commitment to the customer. Forged over decades, built by a team resolute in helping you achieve your greatness. Experience this award-winning lineup today. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 44 years straight and counting.
Hurry to get $7,250 in total savings on a built Ford Tough F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
At U.S. Cellular, we're building a powerful 5G network that works without interruption in the places you wouldn't expect. And with every plan at U.S. Cellular, you get access to 5G at no additional charge. So no matter where you are, U.S. Cellular's network always keeps you connected in the places you need it most. At U.S. Cellular, all of our plans include 5G and get unlimited data for just $30 a month with 4 lines. U.S. Cellular.
I like to move it. I like to move it.
Ready to move on from workouts like this? Now through February 11th, join Planet Fitness for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. With all this variety, you can move it in our clean and spacious clubs. And use the crowd meter in our app for the best time to visit, so you can work out with plenty of room to move. America, your fitness is essential. Join for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. Deal ends February 11th.
5 Madison area locations. Sign up for $10 a month. Stop in today.
Love lower than low prices? Then get more ways to save at Pick and Save, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
Wednesday morning, the Wisconsin Union's Winter Carnival is kicking off.
We'll fill you in on all of the fun events going on this week, plus how they're adjusting to the pandemic. We'll see you starting at 4:30 on News 3 Now this morning.
On Friday, Mike Pettine's contract expired, and the Packers decided not to re-up. But now the interview process has begun to find Green Bay's next defensive coordinator. And one of the guys interviewing, none other than Wisconsin's D coordinator, Jim Leonhard. And what he's done at Wisconsin makes him a top candidate. Over the last 5 years, statistically, the Badgers have been one of the best defenses in college football. 3rd in points allowed, 2nd in yards allowed, 9th in turnovers forced. Leonhard played for Rex Ryan and Pettine, so his scheme would be similar. Here's what Matt LaFleur had to say about the type of defense he wants to see.
If you look at the great defenses around the league, there's a certain mentality that comes with that, and it's not necessarily what you're calling, but how you're playing every call. You don't want to give up any freebies. You want to make people earn every inch out there on the grass.
It's border battle round 2 for the Wisconsin women's hockey team this weekend. The top-ranked Badgers travel up north to face off against the number 2 Gophers. The first series was all UW. Mark Johnson's crew set a series record, scoring 11 goals in a 2-game sweep of Minnesota. This time around, he expects to be a little more competitive and a measuring stick to see where his team is at with the postseason just right around the corner.
I'm sure Brad feels the same way. It's good to play against each other. You know, we get a feel of where we are as we enter February, and, you know, we both can come back and, you know, come back on Monday and figure out what things we did well up in Minneapolis, some of the things that we need to continue to work on, and then really hone in as we finish up the, you know, our home schedule.
Staying on the ice, a pair of Badgers earned some recognition for their part in Wisconsin's sweep of Michigan State. Cole Caulfield edged out teammate Dylan Holloway for the Big Ten's first star of the week. Caulfield netted 4 goals and 3 assists, while Holloway had 2 goals and 4 assists. Holloway earned the conference's 2nd star. Chris Bono in Wisconsin with an afternoon duel against Penn State. Nittany Lions forfeited the first match, and after that, it was all Penn State. They won the final 9 matches and gave up just 2 takedowns to the Badgers. UW falls 34-6. So is there any way, Gary, that we can get a new groundhog?
Don't even start.
Don't talk to Gary about groundhogs. This is a tough day for him.
No, the day is over for me. Jimmy's done his duty, and I'm done with it for today. Well, temperatures right now make it feel like winter. We're in the lower 20s. We're looking for about 3 to 6 inches of snow during the day on Thursday into Thursday night and early Friday morning, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation, and then alert days in the forecast for the weekend and into early next week for bitterly cold temperatures. Tomorrow, high temperature 29 degrees, and then that 7 to 10 day forecast, the alert days for the bitterly cold air, and much of next week, those temperatures are going to stay well below normal. In fact, high temperatures, even at the end of the week, will probably be about 15 degrees below normal. Nighttime low temperature is about the same, but those wind chill factors still down as cold as 10 to 20 below zero, even through early Friday morning. So there's really no break from the cold. I don't know what Jimmy had to say, but
I wish Jimmy was right and you were wrong, but I have a feeling you're going to be right on that, Gary. Thank you, and thanks for joining us for News 3 now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.